Hey, everybody. Welcome to MacYak, episode 178, Thursday, December 1st, 2022. What's up, fellas?
Not a whole lot.
Can I just some of the people here watching have used StreamYard before. When the intro is playing, all the attendees are tiny windows at the bottom. We
Yeah.
can see each other down there. And whether he's aware of it or he's doing something completely different and he's not paying attention, when that intro skips, his face reacts. He can't help it. Like today, it was an eyebrow that went up. Other times, he just shakes
Is this
his
the
head.
part
He
where the
can't
music
help it.
speeds up a little bit?
Yeah, I
Yeah, I heard
always
it too.
hear it. Always hear it. It's like, ugh.
I heard it too, and I'm never here in time for it, so it was new to me this time, and I was like, oh,
It's
let's
just
have
awesome.
Steve fix that.
No, that's been that way for what, about over a year now?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
essentially Steve shortened it a little. You know, he cut a few
Like,
little bits out.
yeah,
and
30
didn't quite
seconds.
get the sync right on that. And every time I bring it up, he's like, you do it. I'm happy to do it, but I just don't have the files. So, yeah.
We
Make a
should
new
do a
one.
poll and see if people think that our intro is too long. Because I've heard both.
I think it would be fairly unanimous, I would have thought. But
Well, I think one of the reasons why we had it so long is because it's a live show and some people
Yeah.
get the notifications to come in and it gives them time to, get in here and everything.
Yeah, but I'm here 10 minutes early and I have to deal with it too.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, but
that
I
count
saw you
for
dancing
anything?
to it.
You were dancing. Come on, Jay.
I always dance.
Hey, your son loves it. Remember?
Yeah, he does.
Oh, yeah. But he's like 7, 6.
Oh, there we go.
So, what our usual thing is what's everybody been up to this week?
Well,
Anybody got anything clever to share?
I've got something ridiculously clever to share, and I'm going to put it into the chat.
Uh-oh.
What? Oh,
What is
a link.
Hang on.
I
Just
should do
calm down for a second. Let someone else talk while I find it.
Patrick says the Skippy bit is the only thing that bothers me.
that. What's
The Skippy bit in the song.
The part that skips that raises Bruce's eyebrow,
Yeah, that's it. All right, so I am going to. So anyhow, this is the thing. So we did another Startup Discus Full episode. Yay!
Oh, that's right. we
Yes,
did.
very.
And so I'm gonna put a link to the latest episode. We discuss working from home and the technological aspects of that. So I'm gonna put that
You
in
got the
there.
link yet?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
If people want to check that out, if they want to subscribe, that would be good. We're going to do a live show when we reach 100 subscribers. So there we go.
Just
Does-
wait for
does
about an hour and a half
want-
before you go watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Does
that's right.
want
You gotta-
really factor into this? People should
no.
subscribe.
Yeah, people
whether
should
you want to or
subscribe.
not. Just
Yeah,
you know,
that's right.
Subscribe.
You're just humorous, you know.
Smash the subscribe button.
and that little bell icon thing.
Yeah, do what you have.
Does the bell even work? Like, I don't get some
Sometimes.
Sometimes it
notifications
does.
for half
Like
the stuff.
I never get notifications for Mac. I get them later afterwards. I get an email saying, "Oh, you're live." It's like, yeah, we were live.
It's like, what's the point? It's like,
Yeah.
I'll log into YouTube every night when I get home from work, and I'll just go to the subscriptions page, and that way I know who's uploaded something.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it comes with the live shows are the main thing when you get a notification about a live show. And for that, I reckon I probably get about, of the people that I subscribe to, I reckon I probably get about 65, 70%.
But you know why, right?
notifications.
I just looked it up. They're short. They're short by a lot. They only have $253.63 billion. That is not enough to maintain a server, let alone a notification
They'll be
system.
closing a week.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Not going to cut it.
Yeah.
Outtakes. Oh, yeah, the outtakes. Yeah, Patrick likes our outtakes.
Yes. Well,
I do
that's...
too.
Yes, me too. It
We
always
don't, we
makes-
don't care much for the other hour and a half with the outtakes. Funny.
Maybe you should start leading with the outtakes then.
No, because then people
Oh,
leave
you
after
know
2
what?
minutes.
This last one we did,
That's
Bruce
true.
had the freaking giggles for the entire, like, he was trying to do the intro, and he must have tried it 10 times.
Yeah.
Because he kept making himself laugh, and we're like, dude, it's not funny. Stop it.
Yeah. And I was like, I mean, I even got to the point where I was actually blocking them out. I was actually putting something in front of them so I couldn't see the silly faces they were making.
And
And
then
then I-
imagine that we were
I
I
laughing.
imagined some silly faces and started laughing.
And we weren't. We were just like,
Anywho,
yes. So,
I
is
didn't do
everybody?
much. I bought an external drive enclosure that I hate, and I'm looking for recommendations on another one.
Is
So
that the QNAP
yeah, I got a
thing? You
QNAP.
don't like it?
Well, it's nice and quiet. Don't even need screws to put the drives in the sleds. It just clicks together. It's nice. It's fast. It just doesn't send any smart data to my Mac. So that's kind of useless. I don't want to put 4 drives in there and not know what their health is like. So I'm looking for alternatives, and I am not looking for RAID systems. I mean, if it has a switch on the back so it can do RAID, fine. I'm looking for a dumb enclosure that just holds a bunch of drives. No software that I need, no firmware that gets in my way, just a
But
dumb.
yet it's smart enough to report smart data.
Well, it should be. The other brand I have doesn't even have a brand. Mobius. I have enclosures that hold 2 drives, 4 drives, and 5 drives, and they all just spit out the smart data for each drive. It's just a bridge, a splitter. So
Here, there's your solution.
yeah,
I have we've talked about this, but I have an Orico brand 5-drive bay unit, USB 3, and the good thing about that is it does report on the drive data. It's not particularly expensive, and it is just a dumb unit, not a RAID. The downside to it is one of the things it does do is spins your drives down after 10 minutes, and that is not configurable. You can't actually stop it from doing that. I mean, having said that, I haven't opened it up to see if there's like a jumper or something I can do, but and I find that really frustrating because there are 5 drives in there. I mean, waiting for them all to spin up. I'd go make a cup of coffee. It's just crazy.
We have
those are
those
really slow drives.
Well,
So-
they're
they're all
green.
the platter drives. They got to spin up.
So Jay,
Yeah.
what are you using this for? Are you using it to just test drives or?
No, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 hard drives here, and a separate USB hub just to connect them all to. And I figured I should consolidate a little bit. It's time. So I got this. It was a Black Friday deal. Price was right, but yeah, the smart data being missing is a deal breaker. Now Bruce has a piece of software that he can try to use to see if his drive stops spinning down, and once he figures that out, I might try that brand.
There is something apparently you can do in the terminal to send a little message. It works with some drives, but not all. Apparently does not work with this one. There are really hacky patch options where you can get some software that'll just every like 8 minutes or something or whatever, or every 5 minutes, it just writes a little text file and then deletes it to each of the drives. So it just keeps them spun up because it just keeps them having some form of activity going on a regular basis. But that is a real, for me, bodge job solution to the problem. So yeah, I don't know. I feel compelled to open this one up. I've been very happy with it. I mean, I essentially bought a 5 bay. I only had 4 drives at the time, popped them in, and then I just happened to get hold of a 2 terabyte drive from someone that was just left over. And it's like, oh, I've got a spare bay, just chuck it in there. Just use it as a spare drive for just dumping things of zero importance. The whole thing's being backed up by Backblaze, so anything I put on there is still going to get some form of backup, even if it's only Backblaze.
Raise your hand if you have Backblaze. Dang, for shame. For shame.
It's
Wait, is it 50-50? Does the GT have it?
50-50.
So
Wow.
I mean,
The 2 bottom guys down here.
I have I have Backblaze. I have Backblaze here on my computer, and I recently set up my wife with a new laptop, and I set her up with sort of a backing up system where she just needs to plug in an external drive, and it'll just back it up and all that sort of stuff. So that we've got a duplicate of the drive, but unfortunately, she doesn't do that. So what I ended up doing was I just installed Backblaze. It's an extra, a few dollars just to get an extra license for one more person, and it means I just don't have to worry about it. I know that if the computer is on and connected to the internet, it's doing some form of backup. So if something does go catastrophically wrong, we've at least got that.
Yeah.
Well, Jay sent me an invite to use Backblaze, and I still have the window open, so I'm going to do that tonight.
You're not going to get Cyber Monday pricing anymore, though. You waited too long.
What was that, like $3 off?
It's still $3 off, lazy bastard.
Hey, I still
all right.
use
I don't
I
care.
still use the VPN that you sent me to Jay, the private internet
Oh, yeah.
access. I still actually use
yeah.
that one all the time.
Yep.
But I tried the Backblaze using your code that you had that one time, and I used the free, what was it, 60 days or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And to me, it just didn't do anything for me. So I was like, you know what? I'll just keep backing up the way
It
I've been
backed up
backing
all your stuff.
Yes, it did. But to be honest with you, I have a ton of different backup solutions that I use here. So it's like, even though, yes, one of your solutions is offsite backup.
What
I
if a
understand
plane
that.
crashes on your house right now? Apart from being hilarious because we could see it, what happens to all your data?
Well, I'm probably not going to be here to have to actually worry about that if a plane crashes into my house, especially if I'm in the house.
Yeah, good point. All right.
Okay, so our first topic for the evening. Apple Silicon is now 2 years old. Do we have one of those things? Yeah, there it is. The terrible 2 stage. We were supposed to have all Macs transitioned by now. But the Mac Pro is the one that's not? So what's the deal with that?
My Mac Pro hasn't.
Well, there has been a lot of discussion about this, and I mean, I think there have been some leaks. In fact, that people are considering that they're pretty much true. They've come from quite reliable sources. They've come from people that provide sort of information about future Apple stuff and have been fairly consistently correct. And they do believe that there is a Pro Mac Apple Silicon on its way. No idea what it's going to look like, what the shape of it's going to be, but it's going to have more CPUs than the other one, so it's just going to
It
be
better.
loaded up with more CPUs. The one question, of course, that we really want answered that we don't have is what sort of expandability this is going to have. How many PCI slots is it going to have? Are there going to be any compatibility issues
25
associated?
USB-C ports on the back.
Yeah, that's right.
That's pretty much, I'm willing to bet.
Yeah.
Everything's
gonna
going to
be
be soldered and
Trash
it's gonna
can
be like-
Mac Pro 2.0.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we know that Pro people are going to want to use their own GPUs, and we know that they're going to want to load up the inside of it with drives and stuff like that. So I sort of feel like if they do want to seriously produce a Pro machine, that's what it's going to have to be. But as I say, there are plenty of rumors out there that a Pro machine is in the works and not that far away. But yeah.
Well, I
I
mean, you got to
honestly-
look at how long it took them between the trash can 2013 to 2019. It was 6 years before they came out with a new version. So
Because I think the Mac Pro just keeps falling. Like, they're all sitting there in their board meetings or whatever, and they're planning what's coming next. It's like, what we have today, they were talking about 6 years ago. The only reason for a product not to be included is because they were hoping or betting it would be phased out by now. And the Mac Pro just keeps hanging in there. And it's like, oh, okay, well, it's been a few years. People keep asking about it. We should probably, update this thing. And it might be the same with the current Mac Pro. Maybe they just didn't plan it right, or maybe the what are we up to now? The M2 Ultra something?
something like that.
Maybe the architecture that they developed in-house for the M1, M2 is not ready yet for what they have in mind for the Mac Pro. Like they slapped 12 of them together or something crazy like that. Maybe it's not ready yet because, and this might be old information I'm going on, but I believe the M1 did not support PCI at all.
Yeah, and that's going to be the challenge, isn't it? Because our Pro users seriously going to want a machine that they can't stick PCI cards in.
Exactly. I agree. I think that's the biggest selling point, because remember, the 2013 trash can had no expandability either, except a few USB ports on it. But yet, when they came out with the 2019, they came back with the PCI Express lanes on it. So
Oh, I clicked the wrong one. That's a typo.
I didn't know what that was. I haven't had these in like half an hour.
Covfefe.
But if you think about it, that's the reason why they came out with the 2019 Mac Pro, is because users were screaming about it.
But at least the four of us here, all Mac Pro owners, we are loyal. We are loyal to our Intel Mac Pros. We would never betray it by buying one of those M series computers, right?
No, that's later on, Jay. Come on.
Right.
I think he's having a dig at someone here.
Oh,
What's that?
Oh, I got Bruce.
is that Steve we're talking about? Because remember, Steve did buy one.
Well, yeah, but we saw that one coming.
Where was it? It was
And I think Grudy was the first one
Dang it.
of the group to buy an M1.
No, I've said it before. The 2013 Mac Pro, of course, it's the
There we go.
2013 Mac Pro.
Do you think there's any chance? This just putting the question out here. Do you think there is any chance that Apple might release a new Mac Pro that's Intel based?
I highly doubt it.
Depends on how badly they burned the bridge with Intel when they say
I mean-
say goodbye.
How do the newest Intel chipsets compare to the M1 Ultra or M2 or M2 Super Pants or whatever they're going to call the next one?
That's the key question right there, is because remember, the Intel processors, they demand more and more power.
Yeah.
The more cores you put on it, the more transistors you put, the more power. Then you got AMD on the other hand, which has their own processors, which are just keeping up, are actually surpassing Intel right now, as far as number of processor cores and whatnot, and actually is a little bit cheaper. So remember, we had this discussion back, what was it, 2019, back when we were thinking that the Mac Pro would come out with a AMD processor. We got told that, but yeah, we were wrong on that one. But
Yeah, we got lied to.
mhm.
Yep.
Well, he actually was testing one with an AMD processor in it, but that was back, and then they switched to the M1. They came out with the M1 and said, "Oh, we're doing M1."
Yeah, we were dumb enough to
I
listen
don't
to
know
it.
if they could easily spec bump the current 2019 model. I mean,
They
it has a
could.
modern CPU socket in it. You could just do
Well,
it. But
the biggest
it would
problem with
also be a slap in the
Intel's
face because they said we'll transition in 2 years.
Well, they
So if
said they
you-
would transition by the end of 2022. So
Yes.
there ain't much of 2022
I was
left.
going to say, what do we got? 30
Yeah.
days left? Yeah.
Yeah.
December 30th, Apple major announcement.
11:59 p.m.
Yeah, and of course, the other thing that we have to factor in is that they could be having all sorts of problems. It could be getting delayed because it's not working the way they want it to work. I mean, they don't want to release a Pro machine that's going to be laughed at. So, like the trash can. I sort of feel like if they have a choice between releasing something that has some problems or just holding off, they're going to hold off. So.
I mean, if the problem is that it runs too hot, just liquid cool it. That always goes right.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I have a PC sitting here right next to me that I
Disgusting.
game on only. It has
Gross.
a liquid cooler in it. Okay, I mean,
They're
they're
not
easy,
games, they're Sims.
but they're easy to put in a PC nowadays, or even a Mac, because they have these all-in-ones that are real nice and compact, that they're not big and bulky like they used to be on the old G5.
Yeah.
What if they come up with a new Mac Pro and they go full Apple Silicon and they take the GPUs like to a ridiculous level? Oh, this has 128 GPU cores in it to start.
I'd be cool with that as long as
You
the
know?
software adjusts. Like if we have to wait 5 years for Adobe to support it or some, then who cares?
Well, yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something right now, because like I said, I'm
Tell
running
me.
a PC, but I got a 6700 XT in this thing now, which basically you have to hack pretty much to run in a Mac, a CMP anyways, because for one, half of them won't even fit because they're too long. Okay. The second thing is they don't have the EFI boot ROM that will support a classic Mac Pro. You have to actually flash it in order for it to even boot, because it won't even boot without it. So I don't think that the newer GPUs that they're coming out with, the AMD and NVIDIA is coming out with, are so much better than what Apple actually has in their M1 or M2 processors right now as far as GPU.
Apple has never been up to date when it comes to their GPU offerings, though. Whatever they come out with at the moment, while better than what I currently have, no doubt, is not the best. You can't even configure it to have the best. You're always a few steps behind when you buy a Mac. That kind of sucks.
Well, I mean, the problem right now, especially with the M1s and M2s, is guess what? It's part of the chipset there, and you can't upgrade it.
Yeah.
And with the Mac Pro, you can actually take the GPU out and upgrade it. In fact, people are putting those 6900s, AMD 6900s, into the new Mac Pros, and they're working just fine in those. But with the classic
I'm still
Mac,
on a what do I have?
you have a 580.
580, and
That's what I'm running in this machine that I'm talking on right now.
last time I edited a video was almost a year ago, so I'm good for a while.
Yeah. Well, this one actually is a flashed 580, so it actually will have the boot screen if I want it to.
I got OpenCore for that.
Yeah. I'm just saying it would do it without OpenCore.
OpenCore
So
is cooler.
how soon are we taking bets that the new Mac Pro will come out? Summer? Next summer?
I'm betting
Summer?
it's not going
Summer?
to come out at all next year.
Summer?
But also define Pro. I mean, the stuff you can do, and this was true
Oh, I know.
on the first M1 MacBook Air. I
Yeah.
mean, that became a pro machine just by its capabilities.
Yeah, I mean, the studio is clearly a stopgap. It's something that buys them some time because you can get the studio with some serious grunt behind it. So I guess that I mean, as I say, I think that probably buys them some time to have gone in and created sort of a computer with so much power.
And the real
but not as
Mac
Pro.
Pro lovers, the true believers, would never buy that stopgap and betray their Mac Pros like that. Just saying, just throwing it out there.
Okay, then. Our next topic is USB-C or Lightning. USB-C is going to be the standard going forward for all Apple products. Apple already uses this on some of the iPads, so what do we think?
USB-C.
Yeah,
It makes sense.
Get rid of the Lightning.
Lightning's had its day.
There are a lot of things I like about the Lightning. I like the shape. I like that it's curved, which makes it really easy to slot in. I like that it's double-sided. What I don't like about it is the hole that it has inside a phone. If your phone's stored in your pocket, it accumulates dust. I suppose that's probably going to happen with any sort of connector, but maybe just because of the fact that it's maybe the width of it, the amount of space there.
Well, I mean, the USB-C...
Is that the fault of the phone or the fact that you need a new dryer to get the lint out?
Well,
I mean, it will happen with enough time. Given enough time, your phone in and out of your pocket, you will get stuff in that slot.
Well, you're going to get it in the USB-C port, too.
Oh my goodness.
Because
Well, the USB-C port has a slightly smaller hole, so
Just
well,
rub it in.
yeah,
rub it
but
in.
it's also got more connectors in the middle of it that could break easier if you try to clean it out versus the Lightning, which is there's no really connectors in there except for on one side that you pull it out and connect and clear it.
I like USB-C. It's a lot sturdier than Lightning, so just because of that, I'm all for it. I just don't own anything USB. This QNAP that I got has a USB-C connector on it, but they shipped it with a cable that goes from USB-C to USB-A. So technically, I'm using it, but not really.
Well, when my wife got her new 2019 MacBook Pro, 16-inch, it has 4 USB-C ports on it, and immediately our little USB-C to USB-A adapter became the most important and valuable item in the household because we just had nothing with the USB-C connector on them. So had this one little adapter and that was it. Ended up going and buying a docking station. But,
You know what's funny about that is I actually have more USB-C stuff than I have USB-A stuff anymore now because pretty much everything they're making today cable-wise is USB-C. So I mean, even this is a little flash or a M.2 holder, and it's
Yeah.
USB-C. You know,
I
it's
got a bunch of those.
yeah.
I think Steve has one of those. He got one recently. He said the speed is impressive on those.
Oh,
things.
it is it's almost as fast as what you have if it's in the computer itself.
I upgraded to NVMe recently. Held off for years because I didn't need that kind of speed or stuff. And
You always
Dana
need that
shows
kind of
up,
speed.
says, "I got the perfect drive for you. It was recommended to me all the way out of Australia by a very popular guy. I buy it. I spend the cash, put it in there, start comparing notes. Turns out that he recommended a completely different brand to me. It was great.
I recommended the card. The drive itself. I just grabbed it because it was a good price. I mean, I wasn't particularly.
I'm sitting here thinking that I'm hot potatoes because I'm using the same hardware as Brankus, but nope, not the case.
It's the same card.
I don't even know what I have. I think it's a Samsung Evo.
Yeah, you got a Samsung 970 Evo, I think, which of course they're no slouch. They're a good drive.
That's what I got.
Yeah.
And I got a Crucial. I think it was a Crucial 2 terabyte.
Those are pretty good too.
I would
Yes.
prefer the Crucial.
Because the thing is that I get gift cards on Amazon. So when I buy a lot of this stuff, I just buy it on Amazon and use the gift cards. And so when I was doing it, it was just it was a really good price on it, and Crucial's a good brand. So that's what I grabbed. But nothing wrong with Samsung. Samsung.
Yeah. Well, I know we talked about this before, but the USB-C on the iPhone, I mean, why haven't they put it on yet, especially the 14? Because every iPad now actually has USB-C.
Yeah.
The iPhone's the only thing left that Apple makes with
They got to use
Like,
it for
You
parts.
It probably, yeah. I mean, it might be because they've got loads and loads of those connectors. But I also think that there are a lot of things that you have with phones, things like docking stations and stuff like that. And I suspect that maybe they cop a lot of backlash when they change something like that on a phone, because people are like, oh, now this thing doesn't plug into my clock radio or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I tend to agree that they could have changed across to USB-C ages ago.
Well, I think if you introduce something from one day to the next, kind of like the 30-pin connector, people are like, what the hell? We were already well into the USB micro, and it wasn't great, but that's what we had plenty of cables of.
Mhm.
And one day to the next, here's a 30-pin. Ooh.
Lightning.
Yeah, I know.
No.
Actually, yeah, you're right. The AirPod. Now, what's funny is I bought,
Lightning.
which actually, I'm in my pocket here, these, which Apple makes, of course, and they have USB-C on it.
Yeah.
Does the B stand for
Beats.
balls?
No, Beats.
Beats.
But that's these. They're pretty much basically they're the AirPod Pro 2s because they have the spatial audio, all that stuff. I got a really good discount on it with my employee discount. So
But yeah, the 30-pin, personally, I didn't fight it because, they handed out cables like it was candy back then. You broke one, you went into a store, they just gave you a new one, no question asked. One came with the product. It was fine. But USB-C has been around long enough. People aren't fighting it. People like it. So
Yeah.
why not make the switch?
well, especially Europe's actually forcing all the companies to actually go USB-C.
Europe doesn't force anything.
Well-
Europe doesn't call any shots. They try
I'm
to
saying-
force you, they just laugh. at
I'm
them.
talking about for in their country.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Apple's gonna say if you foot the production line changes bill, then we'll think about it.
Look here.
Bruh.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Who wrote
that's
the
another
banner?
thing too, is that you think about it. The new iPad that just came out, it uses the Apple One Pencil,
Who typed
which
that?
still uses, Lightning, but it has the little adapter Lightning to USB-C, so you could pair it with the iPad, which is
I don't even know where those are at. Oh, here.
yeah, but it's kind of dumb if you think about it.
Who typed lightning?
It wasn't me.
That was the way it was in the notes. I copied it straight off of there. So,
Oh
hey.
come on, man! A little bit of quality control here.
Here.
There we
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
All right, let's start over.
So who typed the notes?
Mike.
Yep.
All Mike.
Yeah. So if stuff starts changing to USB-C, I'm all for it.
Yep.
I don't have a use for it yet, but it wouldn't hurt to have 100 cables here when I do finally make the switch. So
Yep.
Yeah.
let's do it.
Well, I mean, I still have a ton of lightning cables too. So hey,
I just found a box of 30 pins in my basement. It's like, whoa.
I actually
You have
No,
them?
I
those are
have
gone.
some. Well, I have some 30 pins that I bought when we still sell them at Best Buy, the 30 pins, and so I still have a couple of boxes of them brand new.
You have them on the shelf, or you actually sell them still?
Yes, we still sell them at Best Buy.
Like
The
people
30 pin.
actually come in,
Yes.
buy one of those cables.
Uh huh.
Wow. All right.
I mean, they're dirt cheap, but and they're Insignia, so. But I mean,
not
I
even
have
Apple?
tons. Huh?
They're not even Apple?
No, they're not.
Oh, so it's not
Insignia.
old stock or something.
No, it's not. It's not Apple stuff.
You kidding? Apple would be like, what are you still buying those for?
Well, here's the thing: is Apple wouldn't have any that are still in usable condition because remember they break real
Oh
easy.
yeah, they were terrible.
I
Absolutely
didn't mind
terrible.
them, to be honest. I wasn't one of those savages that just plugs them in without looking or bending pins.
Well, you know what's funny about that? When my son had his first iPhone, it was the iPhone 3G or 3GS, and it still had the 30-pin connector on it. He actually broke the 30-pin connector inside the phone. Okay, and that right there was a pain. Now that's one thing I got to give about the Lightning connector is that it was much harder to break that thing in the phone than it was the cable. So the cable breaking was not a problem.
I don't think I ever broke the plug. I always got frayed cables and exposed cables.
Well,
and
my son was
crap like
pretty,
that.
pretty bad at it. He broke like 3 screens on that phone, and
Well, good lord.
So you really taught your son to respect his electronics.
yes. But yeah,
Okay.
he was very bad about it. But
Mhm.
I think
having
we
that
beat that one.
having that Lightning would have been good.
Do we have a fancy graphic for our next topic?
No,
What
we
is
do
our
not.
next topic?
No.
I should open the notes.
Yeah,
No.
there it is. The PowerPC challenge. Challenge.
5th year in a row.
Yep. This might be my third year not participating. I'm really gonna try. Really gonna try.
We keep saying that every year, and then we don't.
I just don't have space anymore, man. That used to be my hobby desk back there, and now it's full of stuff. And that desk is full. This desk
Stuff
is
for
full.
work.
I might just do it on the floor. We'll see.
I guess
That'll work.
the
Till the cat comes in.
yeah. I mean, I've got the G5 here permanently set up, but the other thing is the little the G4 titanium's a nice handy one because you can just set that up anywhere if you're wanting to PPC challenge.
Do a
I
lamp.
might just Pismo it.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pismo
Um,
that crap.
So one thing I just wanted to mention, we talked about this. I talked about this at the time when I made it, but one of the things that I do quite a lot of is typing things, whether it be scripts or stuff for work or whatever. I'm often just writing stuff, and I often use Notes for that. And the reason I use Notes is because I can do it on one computer, then I can jump to another computer, and then another computer. It doesn't matter what computer I'm on; it's all synchronized. And so I wanted to be able to do that on my PowerPC as well. So just fire up the PowerPC, type in some notes, and then know that it's going to be synchronized to my modern Mac if I need to then copy it and do whatever with it. And so I wrote a little website called Retro Notes, and it doesn't have a lot of security to it, so don't put anything personal in it, but it allows you to create your own kind of account on there, and then you can create notes, as many notes as you want, and then you can access them via a browser, and then you can use them on your old computer or your new computer. It does need OS 10. It won't work happily with OS 9 browsers, but it,
Come on, man.
sorry, man. But it still qualifies as PowerPC. So if anyone does want to use it, I'm going to put a link in here. The way it works is you essentially create your own subdomain, not subdomain, sorry, path URL, and you can make that all sort of lots of letters and numbers and stuff like that, so that it's hard for someone to guess, and then you can just visit it and they're your notes. So if you share that URL with someone, they will be able to share your notes as well. But it's a handy thing for the PowerPC challenge if you want. Yes, Sir Jay.
As one of the people that created one of those links, what do you do? Because it kind of randomly generates a URL for you.
If you want to, you can use your own, as long as it hasn't been used already, or you can get it to create the URL for you with all sorts of.
I didn't know I could create my own, so I had one generated, and then I skipped over the important part of bookmarking it. So how do I get back to my URL?
I'll look it up and I'll just read it out on air for you, Jay.
You don't have browser history?
He's got 175 tabs open at any given
That's
moment.
true. Okay.
His history lasts 5 minutes, and then it's gone. It's off the page.
Where did I put this thing, do you reckon? Is this on? I'm not even sure what server this lives on. Hang on.
Why would I not pick my own URL? It's ridiculous.
Because you didn't read the instructions, perhaps? You're not the only one.
You're in the chat like, look what I made, guys. Sign up.
I mean, actually
no explanation, nothing.
One of the things in the instructions there, it actually says make sure you choose, a URL that's difficult to guess, so that no one else can actually just jump on there and guess it. And then one of the first people that used it just used their business name. So
yeah, like Apple serial number info of serial numbers for applecomputers.com.
So anyhow, yeah, I'll see if I can reverse engineer this and find out which is your notes.
So there is apparently a topic of, as Bruce would say, controversy regarding the PPC challenge. It has been suggested that we allow early intels this time. So
completely
what does everyone
invalidating
think?
the name.
I was going to say.
I know.
So
But-
I have no objection for us having like an Intel Core Duo challenge or something like that at some stage, but I feel that it's
We'll do that in
kind of a
February.
different set of rules, really. I mean, because I can theoretically go and get like a Core 2 Duo, and I can install like Big Sur on it. So that to me takes away some of the challenge aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think what we should do is I think we did that last year where we had February as the Intel challenge.
It might have been.
Maybe the older, Intel challenge. Maybe make a cutoff year saying you can only use a Mac that's this year or older, Intel wise. Because let's say, for instance, we put 2009. Well, guess what? My 2009 Mac Pro would qualify there, and I still use it as a daily driver, so it's not much of a challenge, like Bruce said.
Justin has a customer service ticket there. There you go. Pass it down the line.
Yep.
Like a good customer service rep.
I really don't mind the idea of us doing a sort of an Intel Core 2 Duo challenge in the future as a separate thing, because I say it's a different sort of challenge, but I'm still happy to do it.
If we do that, why don't we set that up so that if you're going to use an Intel based system, you have to run it on the oldest operating system that works on it natively. You can't upgrade it all the way. You have to work on whatever it came with.
One of the really challenging things, and this has impacted vintage computers in such a big way, and and that is that change that happened to SSL certificates. Because it's if it hadn't have happened, we would still be able to be browsing a lot of websites on Internet Explorer 5.
Yeah.
But you fire it up and you can't access a whole stack of websites because it can't sort out the SSL certificate properly.
Well, another issue too, remember, is when Apple what did they some of their certificates expired. Like for instance, El Capitan is very hard to install.
Not really. You
Unless
just change the date.
Yeah, you have to change the date. You know, it's a pain. But
Yeah.
I think that's the only one they didn't update for some reason.
I have all of my installers on USB sticks, and then I just have a little sticker on each one. And so the sticker on the El Capitan one just says, "Set this as your date before installing."
My personal thought about all of that is that, obviously it is the PowerPC challenge. And that includes
actually
not
think
only...
George-
What? Yeah,
I just think George Clooney is a reasonably competent actor. I'm not sure why he's copying all the hate.
why are we talking about George Clooney?
That's the first thing that came
Oh,
to
I
mind.
see.
Bad
Because Justice said blame the bad actors on the internet, so he goes. George
I couldn't
Clooney's
think of
like,
any actors. Ask anyone. I am great with movies, but is that where John, whoever plays it? I don't know. I don't know any of the names of people in movies. So.
Sorry, go ahead, Dana.
What was I saying? Oh, so I think the PowerPC challenge covers not only like PowerPC native machines, but people have used 68K machines with PowerPC upgrade cards in them. So that covers a fairly wide gamut of machines.
Here is my general feeling about this challenge. What do we want from this? We want to hear from people who have done the challenge, and we want to hear about the problems they faced, the way they got around the problems, things that were insurmountable. And to be honest, at the end of the day, if people want to use this, that, or the other, that's fine. I mean, if someone did actually want to use an Intel as part of the PowerPC challenge and then give us information about the challenges they went through and what they did to overcome them and everything, I'm fine with that. I mean, really, it's going to be called the PowerPC Challenge, but it's more about us. It's more about people sharing their experience to tell us what a pain in the ass it was trying to do this or trying to do that. So,
well, I mean, if you look at it, look what DOS Dude 1 did when he came out with the Discord app for a PowerPC. He did that basically because the challenge, and everything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that's come out because people are trying to still use these old machines in a modern era and trying to use them on the modern internet. Now, granted, the 10.4 Fox is no longer under development, so that's
You can build your own still, though, right?
I think you can, but
It only takes 2 weeks to compile.
yeah, especially if you use a G5 quad core, as it catches on fire.
Actually, I think there's someone on the Macintosh Garden that releases. I forgot the new name that they gave it. But
yeah, I know the one you're talking about, but I can't think of the name either.
Was it
Someone in the chat will
Arctic
know.
Fox? Is that one?
Yeah.
Of them? Yeah, Arctic
Sounds
Fox.
familiar.
Yeah.
It's
cool.
interesting because there is a challenge underway at the moment with the Startup Disc is Full channel for our next show, and I won't give too much away on that. But one of the really interesting things that I've found, and this has impacted me in the challenge that we are going through at the moment, and it's something that impacts me on the PowerPC challenge as well, is one of the most used pieces of software that I have on my computer is Apple Messages. And that doesn't work on anything but a modern-ish Apple, and that to me is the biggest challenge that I face when I do that, because I mean I am just on that chat thing all the friggin' time, because all of my friends, all my family, everyone are all on that, and we do most of our communication through that app.
I found a hack for that.
Yeah?
You can message to iMessage from DOS, Linux, PowerPC, doesn't matter. Would you like me to tell you?
SMS.
Yes.
Okay. So you use whatever form of message sending you can get your hands on, and you send it to a person that you hire to sit in front of a computer to receive it, and then relay it on iMessage for you.
That's a great hack. I like that one.
Yep.
So Jay, you volunteering to do that?
No. I married my wife, and she owes me one. So.
Yeah.
I just shattered Bruce's dreams. He was so
Yeah,
hopeful.
I was
His face like, really?
I knew it was going to be a lousy one anyway. I knew there was no way
come
that it was
on.
going to be. Well, put it this way. even if there was some sort of patch available to do that, I know that it would not give me the level of flexibility that the app itself has in terms of setting up groups and all that sort of stuff. But anyhow,
Yeah, at least you have
But
just,
you can still do a workaround. Like if you have your phone next to you or your Mac,
Yeah.
and technically you're not supposed to use it, you can still say, "Hey Siri, send a message to," like you're not touching it, you're not typing on it, but you're still using it.
Yeah, exactly.
Loophole.
yeah. I mean, I have done that. I've had my G4 Titanium set up, and then I've had my iPad off to the left just for doing the messages. So yeah, I have done it.
That's kind of cheating though.
Yeah.
Because you're still touching.
Oh, Steve is sending me pictures from the Lucasfilm studio or whatever he's gone to.
Oh, son of a gun!
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, that reminds me, I forgot to get it. I meant to get a photo. My wife was at Bondi yesterday. And I got her to take a photo of the beach, and I thought we could put it up on the screen and compare it to the color of the iMac, but unfortunately I didn't. So maybe for the next show.
So basically, today is December 1st, and
No, it's not. It's December 2nd.
Challenge starts January 1st.
January
right?
1st. I think we made
So-
it for the whole month now, right? It used to be 2 weeks, and then
Yeah,
We did it
it's
that
basically because
it
the
immediately-
first couple of years, people were like, 2 weeks isn't long enough. We're having so much fun.
Dude, by the
And
time
then-
I get set up, the week is over. So.
And
Well,
then it became, after that, it became, some people were saying that, other people were like, I haven't set up yet. And Jay would be like, yeah, I'm going to do something here, and then didn't do it.
next week.
I
Well,
was
I mean-
working on the intro for what I was going to do last year, and then my office got haunted, and Dana was there for it. So I was
Yeah.
interrupted by a ghost. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But next year might be different.
I'm looking at the old notes, and why am I getting critical errors on our website, Maciac website?
Yeah, that's weird.
Uh,
got one
so back when we first started this, we only did 1 week. I'm noticing this because it was only 1 week, 7 days. Then we went to 2 weeks, then a whole month. So
Yeah.
We should just do the whole year and be done
No.
I think the month is a good thing, but
we probably
I
have
think the
too many
very
computers
first
getting
one-
tossed out the window.
the only two actually putting anything out there was me and Jay.
Yeah,
people
like the last.
chatting about it and stuff, but to write an article and gather your post or your text and your pictures and all that, people are like, nah, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah.
So my issue is though, with the lack of space, when I do the PowerPC challenge or when I use the PowerPC in general, I like to have my MDD 2 23-inch displays. I want to really enjoy it. I want to have my desk full of PowerPC. And I just don't think that I'm really going to enjoy it if I'm sitting and typing on a Pismo. I love my Pismo, but am I really going to spend hours on it?
Well, you're a pretty darn resourceful guy, Joe. I mean, I'm sure you'll figure it out.
I could quit my job, clear that desk, and have the space I need.
See, now he's getting it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Let me
then,
think about it.
but then he would like be kicked out in the cold, and
Oh, well, a divorce would follow, which
That's
means
when you
I have a
take the
whole
Pismo.
separate office that is then empty that I can use for it. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll think it over.
Get kicked out, just take the Pismo with you. I'm still doing the challenge, woman.
Yeah, I'm under a bridge. I got killer Wi-Fi.
where did I plug in at?
Okay.
Well, so yeah, everybody get your plans ready, get your machines picked out, get your
You got-
software installed, and then put it on Discord. Tell everybody what you're
Do
going to
we
use.
still have the thread in Think It Different for the PowerPC?
I'm going to have a look now.
If it's
Probably.
gone, I'm going to have some harsh words for the CEO.
Announcements. Oh, God, he's not going to be the CEO for much longer. Events and meetups. Where are we? 2022 PowerPC Challenge. Yep. So we just have to make a new one called 2023 PowerPC Challenge.
There we
Yeah.
go. And
we
I think
can-
we still have it in Discord too. Our
Yeah,
PowerPC.
we can just rename the channel in Discord.
Yeah, we can just copy the stuff out and stuff. Speaking of which, by the way, Tinker Different just cracked 1,000 users the other day.
Woo!
So now you can monetize.
Well, actually, there is There is an option now for people to donate if they want to. They can either donate a single sum or they can donate on a regular basis. There is absolutely no pressure to do so. It's not designed to. We're not asking for people to donate money, but if they do want to, it does help out because at the moment all of the costs have been basically borne by the founders of the
As it should be.
forum. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
there's the web link right there.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yes.
Very
Okay.
smart cookies on there.
So anyway, everybody get ready. January
Yep.
1st, we will start the challenge.
Are you doing it?
I hope to. I would
Mhm.
very
That's
much
not a
like to.
commitment.
I still have my Power Mac up here that I was going to use last year, and I didn't. It's sitting in the corner.
You should do the next challenge,
Yes, I would like to.
or the big bulky server Unix thing challenge.
Oh, that really probably won't work because you can't run anything but what you call it on there.
You could run.
AIX.
You can. You can't seriously. You can't even stick like XPace Facto and stuff like that. And we're talking about.
Nope.
You're talking about the anus, aren't we? Is that right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Cool.
the one where.
Bruh.
Oh, I can't. It's back there. It's right down the floor.
Cool.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought there was a file cabinet.
Nope.
Mm.
Nope.
Well,
yeah,
I
you
reckon.
can't. Somebody tried to put. I think I've heard conflicting stories. Somebody tried to put Yellow Dog Linux on one, and I've heard some people say that it works, and I've heard other people say that it's just a bitch on a bitch boat to set up.
Well,
So
Maybe
What
you need to
you-
talk to Sean about that.
I was going to say you need
Yeah.
you need to enlist the help of Sean.
yeah,
He's always keen to sort those sorts of things out.
Yeah.
and it was thought that you could install a version of Mac OS on there too, but it's just not. There's not enough. There's too many callouts in the Mac OS code for hardware that just does not exist on those machines.
Don't
So-
even ask Sean. Just box it up, ship it to him. It'll be cheap. And
Yeah.
say
You'll get it
surprise.
back and it'll work.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He'll paint it up with Linux colors and a penguin on the side.
No, don't send it to Dave. Send it to Sean.
Oh dear.
I have a cat.
Yeah.
Hello, buddy.
Before we get
He's
to the
awake.
next topic there, Dana, let's
Yes.
Smash that like button.
Apparently, there is a rant about removing batteries. So whoever that is, talk about it.
It's got to be Steve though, surely, because
Oh.
we should actually mention the fact that Steve is not here on the show tonight, and that's because of his overexposure to battery rust of his
Yeah.
Molnar Mac. So he released a video last week, I think, or a few days ago,
A few days ago.
on a Molnar Mac that he got hold of. That's the
Yeah.
G3 All-in-One, which is its official term. Molnar Mac was
That thing
a
was
term
skunky.
given to it later on.
Kind of like
And
Trash
he-
Can Mac Pro.
Yeah.
Unofficial.
Now, look, he
It's a
didn't pay a
giant
whole lot
tooth.
for it, but it was very, very damaged by an exploding battery.
Mm.
He did open it up. I shouldn't really say anything about it. People should just watch it and find out for themselves. But nonetheless, it was, it's one of those computers that has the whole thing can just slide out the back. So there's really no excuse for not taking the battery out. I understand with something like a Mac Classic why it happens all the time, because people don't necessarily have that long T15 driver. Those computers were
Yeah.
never really designed
Yeah.
to be looked inside. But for any computer that has that sort of slide out, motherboard, battery's just got to go. I mean, it has to go. Do it now.
Do it. Do it.
What? So we might have to save that one for Steve when he's on next time, because I'm sure he wants to rant about batteries.
Oh, probably does, because that one was pretty nasty looking at that video. I think it almost fell apart too.
It was bad. I like how the one capacitor was just kind of like melting away next to the battery.
Well, was there a capacitor still there?
Half of one, yeah. I think maybe
Leave
the other one
batteries
next to
in
it
is
fell
bad.
off. But yeah. I watched it. It's okay. You can talk about it.
But maybe not everybody else has watched it.
Have to watch it, people. Have to.
Yep.
I mean, we've kind of spoiled it, haven't we?
Well-
This battery corrosion Legrande.
But I think he's going to be able to salvage that board pretty well.
Well,
I
and the
think so,
good
too.
news is you can put any board from any G3 in there and it'll work.
Well, he did to test it.
See, you haven't watched it, Dana. What the hell, man?
I did watch it.
Busted.
I did watch it.
But that's exactly what he did to test the rest of it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If he's going to replace the board, he's got a wide range of choices that
yeah.
are all the same.
Pretty much.
Nice save.
I did watch it.
Good.
So that's our rant. It was kind of not a rant because Steve
Well,
wasn't here to rant, but
We'll let him rant in 2 weeks.
yeah. And I know he's not watching us now because he's looking at Darth Vader costumes and things and sending me the pictures of them. And my cat is about to die. Oh dear.
Your
So-
cat is scolding you, and for good
Yeah.
reason, as it turns out. Would you like to
Yeah.
tell us why?
Oh dear. All right. Hang on a minute. Do you want to be on
No
TV or what?
more minutes.
Huh? Come here.
You traitor! I'm translating.
All right, let me move my camera here. This cat, dude.
We
Hold on
thought
a second.
meatball was bad there, Jay.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
nothing compared. Hold on, I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
It's your turn.
Wow,
to talk.
it's your
What are you
turn.
talking
It's
about?
like, wait.
Okay,
What's the title
I'll do my
matter
bit.
say?
I'll do my bit. So last week, something unusual happened, and I turned 50. And anyhow, my friends, they sort of, I didn't know this was happening, but they all put together and got me a gift. And what they got me were these. Now, they're a bit bright. You can't see them, but you just have to take my word for it. They are the Apple AirPods Pro 2nd generation. So these ones have only been out for a month or so, something like that. The interesting thing is that I bought a pair of these for my wife's birthday back in September, I think. And I was really impressed by them. So I think that my wife was the one that then said to them, you know what? He really likes these headphones. So what I wanted to say about them is they are a bit on the pricey side, but I really do like these. I'm someone who can't typically wear bud headphones like the ones that you get with your phone when you buy them, those ones that kind of rest in the cradle of your ear like that. I can't wear them. I had one of two things happen. They either fall out or my ears hurt. So I can't use those at all. But these actually have this little thing that slots into your ear canal, and they come with 4 different sizes of those little rubbery things. So you can then decide what size you want to use them. And I have actually found these to be incredibly comfortable even after quite a lot of wearing.
Which size
Now-
do you use?
I use the one size down from the one they come with. So I think medium.
What do they
I think I
come
use-
with?
They come with small, medium, large, extra large, I think. So I think I'm medium, and they come with large or something like that.
Since I cannot get a definitive
Or is it
answer.
or is it extra small, small, medium, large? Something like, I think it might be extra small, small, medium, and large. And I think they come with medium, and then I put a small in. I think something like that.
It
Sounds
doesn't
something.
say it on the box. That's stupid.
It's out there, but I didn't bring that part in with me. I could have, but I didn't.
Stupid
because
or
I didn't.
it's
I didn't-
stupid?
I didn't know I was going to get quizzed on this.
Do you think
Um,
Apple would put anything on the box? Come on, Jay.
Yeah.
So
You have
the
a picture. That's enough.
what I like about these is I like the fact that you can either charge them from the Apple Watch charger on the back. You can just stick them on and charge them that way, or you can plug them in with a lightning connector on the bottom. They've got a little hole in here for a lanyard if you want. When you open them up, they just connect. Now, the downside is that for them to work to their fullest, you need to have the latest version of whatever. So they're fine with my iPad, they're fine with my iPhone, that sort of thing, because they're all working on the latest versions of iOS. My Mojave Mac Pro, I have not yet been able to get them to pair with that, so that's a bit of a poo.
Are you
but-
using a updated Bluetooth card?
Nope.
That's why right there.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's a bit of a bummer.
So
But another thing that I like about these, they work with the Find My stuff, in your Apple when you go to Find My thing, and you can make a buzzy noise, and that buzzy noise is as loud as anything. So if you do happen to put these down somewhere and you're not sure where you left them, they're really easy to find using the little Find My app. And this noise cancelling is breathtaking. So you have the option to have them with 3 modes on. You can either have them as noise cancel mode, you can have them as no noise cancelling, or you can have them as play through, and that is where the microphone on the headphones actually plays through the speakers. So it's almost like you're not wearing them. So if someone starts talking you can just put them into that mode and then you can hear what they're saying. But the noise cancellation is really good. I mean, the moment you put them in, it's just almost like this sort of fog of silence just comes and hits your ears. I mean, it's really very good. They do things like when you've got them in, if you take one out, it'll stop playing music because it recognizes that you're taking them out for whatever reason. Someone's asking you a question, you want to answer them. So, you can just be listening to music and then you take one earplug out and it just pauses the music. And then you can put them back in and it starts playing again. So it's, just little touches like that. It really nicely designed, nicely made. So I never in a million years would have thought that I would be buying a pair of these when they came out. No way. But as I say, having used my wife's and then got given these as a gift, I'm just over the moon with them. They're really good.
I may have to try them then because I'm the same way. I can't wear any of the earpod type things.
Bruce, how do you like the spatial audio on there?
Haven't even bothered to set that up yet. I'm not that much
dude.
of a sound connoisseur, so
this has the same thing. The spatial. These are the Beats, which is the app. It's an Apple brand. Apple bought Beats, but
so it's really stupid that they still make a separate
it is,
thing
but
with a B on it.
And it's funny because these are actually cheaper than the AirPod Pros, but they're actually the Beat Pros. So they're basically the same thing as what you have, Bruce, but just a different branding. That's all.
Yeah.
But anyways, this
Apple bought Beats.
Yeah, because if you open it up next to my iPhone, it pops up just like the AirPods do, and that's how it pairs.
Now the one thing that I really like about these, the addition to these, which is just insanely useful, is you now have the ability to adjust the volume on those. So you can literally just slide your finger up or down to adjust the volume. So it's that in itself to me is like a really, really handy feature. So, I mean, I know it's easy enough to control the volume on your phone or whatever, but the fact that you can just have the headphones in, you just slide your finger down or slide it up for volume down or volume up.
So basically the takeaway from all of this is Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Well, one of the things I was going to tell you about the spatial
You have to
audio
watch The Office.
that I like about the spatial audio is that it almost sounds like whenever you have it on, that wherever you're looking at, like for instance, I have my iPad. If I'm looking at it, if I turn my head, it sounds like the sound's still coming from my iPad. I'm like, it's almost.
Oh, that's wacky.
Yeah, it's weird, but
It's weird.
It's when you turn your head, it sounds like it's still coming from that area.
So I want a pair of AirPod Pros because I tried my wife's once at a concert, and the noise cancellation was excellent. And we're talking first generation here. I cannot just go out and buy myself a pair of AirPod Pros because she'll be like, "What the hell? You leave me
You
with
need
this
to
old
turn
crap
50
and
then.
you buy the new ones. Leave me with this old." The whole guilt trip, right?
Yeah,
So
fair enough.
I
So you
got
have to
her
buy
a pair
two.
of the second gen, so that I can take her first gen. So I still kind of get what I want, just less fancy.
One question I have to ask for you, Bruce, too, is will you said it will charge with your watch charger? Will it charge with the with any or Q charger rather? Sorry.
Never tried, so I couldn't tell you.
Okay, so it won't. You have to use the watch charger then.
I couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
Okay. That's another thing about these is they don't have wireless charging. That's the only difference between yours and mine.
That's why they were cheaper.
I mean, look, obviously there's a limit to how much battery life something this small is going to have inside your ear. But of course, this unit is essentially a charging station for the little headphones. And I just, whenever I finish with the headphones, they go straight back into here, and so they're charging. So in that regard, it's not really that much of an issue in terms of the battery life. I mean, I'm never really going to have headphones in my ears for more than probably an hour at a time. But yes, I mean, so far I haven't had any issue with the battery running out on me or anything like that.
I'm really looking forward to using them for when I'm podcasting, MacYac, startup disk, so that I can get rid of this garbage.
Yeah.
As long as you don't be like Rudy and use them for your microphone.
No. I got And when I'm mowing the lawn, I really want to see what the noise cancellation is like.
Welcome to Q&A number 742.
Yeah. The one thing that I use these headphones here, and these headphones are plugged into my microphone because my microphone's got an audio out. So when I talk, I can actually hear my voice coming through the headphones as well as your voices, and that I find actually really convenient for doing something like this. And I tried some Bluetooth headphones, and I put them in, and I could hear the show, but I couldn't hear my voice.
Oh.
So that was a bit of a poopy. But
I just put that up there. Pay
You
attention.
did? Okay.
Yeah.
there we go.
I'm a little upset with you, Dana, because I had the perfect segue. Even the cat was helping me out, and you
Look.
just walk off.
He was at the stage where I'm not going to stop until you give me food. So I had to close the door.
I do that too. Usually works.
So, unboxing time.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Let me move this over here. Oh,
Dun,
what's
dun,
that?
dun.
What is that?
That
What
is a
is
betrayal
the-
of your Mac Pro's trust, is what it is.
It's not. It understands.
No, it doesn't. It's crying.
It says, I am near the end of my usefulness.
You already, tried to kill it with a pair of pliers, and now you're just.
Yeah, well, that was the other one. Actually, no, it was this one, but it's a different. I could pull the tab, but that's
Bow,
caveman work.
bow, bow.
He's got to make sure the box stays completely.
You know what I like?
Bow.
The new M1s, they have this nylon handle. I like this. This is pretty cool. Better than the old plastic ones that turn yellow after 6 months.
I think I remember watching Linus Tech Tips when he opened one of his, and it has like all kind of, it's like an origami box, isn't it?
Well, so
Oh,
now,
yeah. So that's the other thing. So we just got M1 IMAX at work. Oh, camera's over here now.
Yeah.
And whoever designed these boxes is like a freaking pro, because you open the top. This is just like a smaller version of the iMac box and much taller. You've got this bit in here that's like stuck to the inside of the lid so it doesn't flop around. And then once you get it open, you open this out like that.
Oh,
and you can reach in and
my
get the computer out.
goodness,
And-
it's like
It's like,
origami.
That's what I said. It's
it's all recyclable.
like that's going to go into the recycle bin. That's going to go
No,
right
it's
straight
not.
to your closet.
No, I will save this. All right, so we're unboxing unceremoniously. There's no music.
Look, Mom, I'm on
goodness.
Dana's.
What's that?
Oh, I made it too big.
Oh, and you can see Steve's pictures too. Look, there. Steve's over there
Oh,
looking
man.
at Darth Vader.
That was
So,
good,
yeah.
Jay. I like that.
Can we get those pictures that we sometimes have on?
He wants what? What?
Just
Oh
in the
yeah,
notes?
you'd be glad I don't. Yeah, I did have the notes open, didn't I? Okay. So yeah, there's the computer. This is my first unboxing, so I'm
Can you start off with the bounce test?
klutz. There's none.
No, like just drop it on the floor, see what happens.
No. There's your plug, and that's basically all that comes in the box. You've got some documentation and stuff, but that's it. But yeah, so I decided at work, like I said, we're using the M1 iMacs now, and I think my machine before this was a 2017 iMac. I had like one of the newest ones there, but everybody else was using 2013s for whatever reason. And we were facing an upgrade path where we had to go M1, and we had to make sure that worked with all of our press workflow and stuff like that. So, but after using one for a couple of months, I thought, man, this thing is fast. And I would come home and use my trusty Mac Pro that's never let me down. And it's getting to the end right there. You can tell, you can feel it. It's getting to the end, and I keep throwing money at it to upgrade. I put the NVMe in there, which is very, very fast. But this is going to be 1,000 times faster.
Until he tries to upgrade, and he's like,
Yeah. No pliers on this.
So you're gonna do your migration tonight?
No. Look, this is all the room I have. The box is taking up every square inch of spare
Okay,
space.
you move
I
the
have.
box and you get started.
No.
What operating system are you going to put on it?
Oh, I imagine it comes with Ventura. I'll give it a shot and see how it works.
Okay, so you're not going to go backwards? No.
I don't know. I suppose you could put Monterey on there, but anything older than that, I don't think they shipped with.
Well, did it ship with Monterey originally, or
Yeah.
Going to have a look here.
Originally, probably.
so it might have Monterey on it right now?
It might. It's refurbished though, so I would think that they would put something new on it.
If it was me who
Then
betrayed my Mac Pro like that, I would put Monterey on it.
Your
So-
day's coming,
Is this this is an M1 Max? This is correct, or M1 Ultra?
Max.
M1 X, M1 Max.
Yes,
Okay,
it's
cool.
hold on, it's the one.
And you got
it's the-
64 gigs of RAM and 2 terabyte SSD. Does that sound
Yes.
right? Yeah.
So, it's the 10
10 CPU,
core,
24. Yeah.
10 core, 32 core.
Oh, 1032.
GPU.
Sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted the 2 terabyte drive. I needed the storage, and
Yeah.
that was the only configuration I could get where I could get that drive. They had ones with 32 gigs and the standard core setup, but they only had the 1 terabyte drive, and you can't do upgrades to the refurbished deals. So I went with this one. I still ended up saving like $350.
Not
So-
bad.
No.
Enjoy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they will run Monterey for sure.
Okay.
Now, does it run UT?
No.
Probably.
Well, not the.
It's a
30.
chunky boy.
It is chunky.
UT's a 32-bit app, unfortunately. Well, the UT 2004 is.
Oh, well.
It's funny though because when I picked up the box and I thought, "Oh man, this is a heavy computer." But now that I'm holding it, it's just like it's a little bit heavier than a Mac Mini or two. The rest of the weight is this freaking box.
I was gonna say the box. What they do? Put rocks in there or something?
When it's just very thick gauged cardboard, and it's also got coated paper on the outside, so it's very fancy and there's lots of components in the box.
Well, I am very, very envious, I have to say. I would love to be using that. I don't give a stuff about betraying my Mac Pro. I like speed.
Traders.
You know, it's funny because, I mean, if I'm sitting in front of Final Cut Pro or something like that and I'm having to do an export, it chews through it pretty quickly, you know. I mean, it's using the GPU or whatever, and it gets through those sorts of tasks pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But there are times where you're doing certain things, you know, again, in Final Cut Pro, you might be just scrubbing up and down the timeline or even just working on the OS, moving around from app to app, stuff like that. There are times when the Mac Pro kind of does feel really sluggish doing just some of those really simple tasks. And then you then jump onto a newer computer and it's just bing, 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 bing.
Yeah.
So I can definitely, and that's the way I felt when I got this Mac Pro originally. I mean, when I
Oh,
upgraded from a 3,1 to a 5,1, it was just an immediate like, wow, this is so much zippier.
Yeah.
And I'm sure if I were to go back and install the original operating system that came with this 5,1, it would frickin' fly.
Yeah.
But you know, that's just how it goes.
I upgraded from a dual processor G4 to a Mac Pro, the original Mac Pro, and that was night and day too. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
But like I told you guys earlier, I think in the group chat, using that M1 iMac at work for the last couple of months has just kind of made this decision a lot easier because
Yeah, I can imagine.
I was going to do something, but I was torn between do I wait for a bigger screen iMac because I don't want 24-inch, I would want something bigger. Or do I go with a mini that hasn't been upgraded in 2 years? And I ruled that out pretty quick. So then I thought, well, what about just a base model Studio? Because in all honesty, this didn't cost, well, I'm thinking about it. It was about the same price as my Mac Pro when I bought it brand new years ago. So, but then that's also after savings. So, yeah,
Yeah, I don't. I'll probably be the last one out of
you
the
probably
Mac
will, but it's coming.
Yackers, and because I don't use my computer for work,
Yeah,
so I don't
Well,
First
Jay-
of all, I can't justify it. Second of all, I really don't need it, and I enjoy tinkering with the Mac Pro. But yeah, by the time I need such an upgrade, I'll probably have grandkids.
Mhm.
So
Jay, I'm probably there with you now because, like I said, like you, I don't use mine for work either. So, and what my Mac Pro or CMP does now, it does it really well. What I like it to do.
If they can get Ventura working with OpenCore, then you guys have bought a few more years at least.
Well, we got a few more years with Monterey.
I s-
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm for me, the next big step is going to Big Sur. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been on Mojave for such a long time, and I'm almost ready.
I think those AirPods are going to push you over the edge. You're going to like, okay, I need a new Wi-Fi card, new Bluetooth module, and new operating system.
I've already got that. I just haven't installed it yet. It's
Well,
because someone
come
told
on,
me
man.
someone told me it's a real bugger of a job. So,
No, it's not.
well, there's a video for you, live stream.
whose is that?
Whose is what?
Who's video?
Who- Oh, yeah, as in for me to do it.
To make
No.
a video. Yeah.
No, I don't have room. I don't have the space to do that. It's not big. My desk in my workshop isn't big enough for the Mac Pro to sit. So
Plus, I would never, and I say this not in a bad way, Bruce, but I would never let the smooth aluminum finish of my Mac Pro go anywhere near that desk of yours. Put it on its side, slide it around a little bit.
yeah. No, I mean, so obviously, I do have people send me. Sort of like MacBook Pros and stuff like that. And when they come in, I do put them on paper towel as I move them around until I get the board out, and then the board can then just move around the desk as needed. But yeah, I do put the cases on paper towel so that they don't get scratched up. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Well, are
think
we
that was it.
going to do our open source thing, or are we going to save that for next week? We
might as
we got
well.
about
Still got a
10
few minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't
So-
put a-
We are featuring an open source freeware title of our choosing every show, and this time it is called Lulu.
Lulu.
I don't
Yep.
know what that is, so
Let me
somebody take it away.
put a little linky thing in the thing over here.
I'm going to bring it up on screen here in a minute. Just bear with me a sec.
There you go.
Um,
Link is in the chat. If you want to
Okay, so I'm going to just pop this in here. I'll just get rid of the cricket in the background because we've got the cricket going at the moment. Australia versus the West Indies.
Oh, I thought you meant a bug.
Yeah, no,
Like, what,
it's
cricket?
a game that we watch here in Australia. Right, so let's go. Present, share screen,
Do it.
screen 3, share, and begin.
Boom.
So this is Lulu. It's happening. Website uses cookies to improve your experience. Okay. So what it is, if I understand it correctly, it's kind of like a little snitch type situation. I don't really know this one very well. I haven't installed it. I had a look at it earlier today, and as far as I can tell, it is something that it blocks outside communication to your computer. So it's essentially like a firewall with lots of configurable stuff there. But it looks really slick, and the fact that this is an open source product, I think is pretty darn impressive. And yeah, I mean, if you can block sort of these sorts of messages in and out from your computer, it helps protect you from a lot of malware and stuff like that, because malware does a lot of talking back to home and all that sort of thing. So so Jay, you know all about this one, don't you?
Yeah. But you were doing so well. I was just admiring your pitch here.
Yeah, cool.
No, it's like you said. If anyone is familiar with Little Snitch, this is a free version of that. Not by the same developer. This guy, his name is Patrick Wardle. He runs his company Objective C. If you go to the website, there's other apps as well, free to use, that are really, really nice. But yeah, if you're one of those people that likes to download software from sources that are not the original developer, you really want to use this. If
You mean questionable?
questionable, very questionable. If you have any security concerns in general about what your Mac connects to and what tries to phone home, this is the software you want to install. And I've tested it. I always go back to Little Snitch because I have a license for Little Snitch. It's paid software. They have a lot more resources to throw at it, so it has a lot more features. But for anyone else, I would definitely, even if you don't download software from shady sources, you don't do anything bad or wrong or whatever, this is a great way to learn about what goes on in the background of your Mac. Because you have it installed, and suddenly iMessage will pop up, one of those warnings that you see there. So, hey, iMessage wants to connect to a random Apple server. And you say, okay, I'll allow it. Don't ask me about it again. But in the process of allowing or denying certain connections, you learn more about how your Mac does what it does in the background. It's very neat. So, yeah, it's free. It's the current version, I believe, is Catalina and newer, but they should have older versions on the site as well. So
That
yeah.
green seems to be a very popular color with freeware software these days. I just feel like I've seen it all over the place.
Yeah, it's a combination of that green with the grey. I've got this book of like nice color combinations, and I think that's what a lot of logo designers do. They just go and they find, I like that color combination, and make a logo.
That was one of my first widgets on Tiger. It was a new color combination. It had 5 panels and it gave you a new color combination every day. It was nice. So yeah, Lulu, check it out, and also check out the rest of his software. It's really nice. And going a little bit off topic here, but he has an app you install that alerts you every time your microphone or webcam become active, in case you're worried that they might be activated when you don't know they're being activated. It has an app that runs in the background and lets you know, hey, a login item has been installed on your Mac. Are you aware of this? Do you want it to happen? Like, it's all very lightweight software with security in mind, and it's really cool, and it's all free. So check it out.
Excuse me.
Okay.
So
Well, that's it for the topics list, and it's just about 9:30, but we've got a few minutes here to pimp our stuff, like our Discord.
all right, we have a Discord.
Yeah,
I hear it's really awesome.
Look at that. That was quick.
Man.
And we also
but-
have.
hold on,
we
before you-
were talking about Tinker Diffin earlier, but that is also another site we recommend and suggest. And
It's in particular if you're someone who's looking for a little bit of technical advice or some help on something. I get people sending me messages all the time asking for technical help, and I just, I keep saying, look, jump on a Tinker Different. You will get a better, quicker answer jumping onto a forum like that.
so basically,
So,
you ignore them.
Yeah.
Most of the time, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
Except when they give me free stuff. When they give me free stuff, I usually talk to them.
Smash that like button.
Is that
I
how
should
I'm
just
going to
get
get you to ship that box to me? Give you some free?
No, I am going to do that. I've got things here. There is one thing I wanted to
Look at him
mention.
changing the subject.
All I have to do is remember what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so if anyone has ever seen the videos that I did before on Flux, Amtech Flux, and a company called Amtech, a company called Inventec, and mislabeled Flux and all that sort of stuff, I just wanted to let people know that I have recently been contacted by Inventec. Inventec are the company that were accused of putting an ASM flux formula into a V2 tube. So essentially selling a product which was not the expected formula inside the tube. Now, it's a claim that has been made by someone. I cannot really confirm or deny it other than knowing that there are these 2 different formulas out there. I have asked them to comment on that. When they reached out to contact me, I have basically come back and said, look, this is ultimately the claim that's been made. And I've heard you guys come back with a lot of stuff, but I haven't heard you address this claim directly. So we'd love to hear what you have to say on the matter. I haven't heard back from them yet.
Nah. Saw that.
Curious how that's going to play out.
probably not going to contact you.
Yeah, I suspect they
Yeah.
won't come back to me. The fact that they've made plenty of statements about their product, but they haven't directly addressed that claim yet. So, yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Does anybody have anything coming up that they're going to do or stream?
I'm not going to stream anything, but I am committing
I heard
to
Bruce was.
posting more stuff on social media. I want to start using Twitter a little bit more. First of all, because I don't know anything about Twitter. Like when someone replies to one of my tweets, I can't even find the damn thing. So I want to get a little bit better versed at Twitter. And, post a few clips or pictures of repairs or something, and kind of get myself back into the mood of socializing repair stuff, which might lead to a stream at some point.
It better.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah,
that
it
mean
definitely better.
You're going to
Yeah.
take the moratorium down on your website for repair orders?
No. I'm caught up on repairs, but ever since I put up stop, I am not taking on any more repairs. The amount that has come my way has tripled, so I might as well leave it up there as good for business.
I'm just
Yeah,
going to go
yeah.
ahead and ignore that and send in my computer.
Pretty much, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Steve has the same problem, right?
Yeah, I have the same problem as well. People just send me stuff, and sometimes great big boxes and stuff. But I may not get a chance to stream this weekend. I've got a lot of round the house stuff to do. I did do a stream, I think, on Tuesday. But the other thing is, I am working at the moment on a Bigger Than Ben-Hur new pre-recorded video for my channel, and so that's just gobbling up a lot of my time at the moment. So I've done the first stage of that. They're moving to there's probably about 4 or 5 stages of this video. It's going to be a lot of fun when it comes out. But as I say, it's a pretty big project, so I'm spending a lot of my time working on that. So, yeah.
That old
Will
chestnut.
has seen Ben-Hur,
Yeah.
not Jay.
Cecil B.
Jay.
DeMille, isn't it?
Was that a Star Trek thing?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's Charlton
Look him up.
Heston. Charlton Heston.
Look him up. Ben-Hur, H-U-R.
It's a very good movie.
How long ago? How old is it?
70. It came out in the 78 or
Yeah, screw
79,
that.
somewhere around.
I'm not
No,
looking
no,
at
it's actually a very good movie though.
It is,
I'm
really.
sure it is, but I'm not going to watch it.
Well,
The
on
question
that note,
remains.
Well, Jay issues history.
Yeah, is Justin streaming after Maciac?
Oh.
I was streaming the other day. I didn't
He's
actually
got a
get to jump
comment there.
on.
Put his
It
comment
doesn't
out. What's he
count if
doing?
it's not after Maciac. There's tradition here. I mean,
Here,
and
look,
he's
look.
been.
Put his comment out there, right there.
I'm working on 2
Mm-hmm.
videos. I don't care. I need to know if you're streaming now.
That's not how you spell Mac. That's like the truck.
Did you put
Spin-off.
lightning in our banner earlier, Justin?
And what about you, GT? What are you up to?
Not a whole lot. I've still got these 2 computers back here that I'm still working on getting cleaned up and everything. They're going to be my spare part machines, pretty much. Like I said, I got them at a great deal, so $60 you can't beat getting 2 machines.
Yeah.
So they're both 4,1s. One of them is a single processor. The other is a dual processor. So now I have a spare tray and 2 spare backplanes. So
Not bad.
if I
I
ever
have,
decide I want to take pliers to something, I have something.
Send it to me. I'll fix it for you.
The single processor tray, I don't really have a use for it. So I mean,
Sell
so
it for $50.
I could probably get $50 for it. It's got a quad core in it. Both of them have quad core CPUs in it, but they have been flashed to a 5,1 already, so I don't have to do that. So
Sweet.
So my Mac Pro here is going to become I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, a file server, Plex server, and then I'm going to set up some home security cameras, and they'll go through that. So, but it's got I don't know if people can hear it. I can hear it when we do our recordings for Startup Disc is Full. I think the front fan assembly has a weird bearing in it, and it makes this womp 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 sound. and I can hear it clear as day. These guys say they can't hear it, but
I heard it while
gonna-
you were here, but I haven't heard it on stream.
I'm gonna swap it out. I've got another 5.1 over there. That's the one that Jay fixed the bent pin on. So I'm gonna try and take the fan assembly out of there and put it in here and see if it goes away.
I do not remember that.
Remember the gold pin right in the center? It was bent in half.
Oh, the one we thought. No way.
The
That's
CP
gonna bend
on the
back.
back plane. Yeah.
Yep.
And it worked perfectly.
1959. Yeah, I'm not watching that.
Yeah.
Oh, is that
Okay,
when it came
great.
out?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was. I actually thought it was like early '60s, but
Yeah.
I make it a rule not to watch anything from before I was born. So
It's still it's a long
I'm
movie.
I'm sure
now.
it's fantastic. but-
It is a long movie. It's very
We-
good.
let's watch Casablanca.
Mhm.
Casablanca.
All
All
right.
right.
Okay. Well, that's it for our show. And we will see you in 2 weeks. Bruce is already ready for the end credits there. So push the button, Frank.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.